That triangle represents the basic corporate structure of an organization, where there are a few senior people at the top, and there's lots of frontline workers at the bottom. And it doesn't really matter what titles you have for this diagram, or how many levels, but you have the board of directors, the officers, managers, supervisors, frontline workers. Now this applies to anything, not just health and safety. This is how authority and responsibility moves through the organization. So it moves from the charter, the shareholders, through the board of directors, president, and authority and responsibility are delegated down through the organization. Not so that this fellow down here, everything slides downhill and this guy's swamped. No. The president would maintain the president's authority, responsibility, but delegate work, creating authority and responsibility to the person below them. That person retains that, but redelegates more detailed responsibilities, authority to the person below them. That's for everything. So if we say that health and safety is everybody 100% of the time, then you can see how it's going to move through the organization. That the president will have broad responsibility for health and safety, much greater authority than other people, and then would break that down, redelegate health and safety, the responsibility, the authority, and it cascades down the organization. So the description of the internal responsibility system, just a basic description, would be at each level of your organization, you should be able to say very clearly who's doing what. So for supervisors, you should have it clear, written down, your expectations, what are their duties, obligations, responsibilities. What do you want them to do on a daily basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis. But it's not just responsibility, it's also authority. Because too often we're pretty quick to give people duties, but then we haven't thought through what authority we're going to give them. And if you think about it, it's pretty difficult to do things if you have a duty, but then you don't have the means or ability to carry it out. So the authority and the responsibilities go hand in hand. Clear statements for everybody. What's the president supposed to be doing? What the manager supposed to be doing for safety? Supervisor, frontline worker. The third element up there is accountability, holding people to account. Holding them to account for what? Well, if you delegate responsibility and authority, then you're the one who holds that person to account. Did you fulfill your responsibilities for health and safety? Did you exercise your authority for health and safety properly? So you see that, well, these two, responsibility and authority, delegate, cascade down the organization. Accountability works back up. You hold people accountable, and in turn, you hold the person above. You are held accountable to the person above you. So that's a very simple picture of the IRS. Simple picture of responsibility, authority for health and safety. But it's fairly static. It's fairly frozen. What you would see here, as I said, is just simply written statements, expectations of what everybody is doing for health and safety in the organization. That's our starting point. So you can ask yourself in your own organization, do you have that? Is it clear to everybody in your organization what their responsibilities are for health and safety and what their authority is and how they're going to be evaluated or reviewed? Ask yourself then a question, because I go to an awful lot of organizations and you say, so show me your roles and responsibilities. And it's often pretty thin. There aren't detailed statements of expectation for everybody in the organization. Sometimes it's terrible. It's roles and responsibilities. Well, the health and safety coordinator is responsible for compliance, for due diligence, for health and safety. Well, is that even possible for one person to do everything that needs to be done for health and safety?